Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel. Here are the NBA regular season standings updates, game result, and the game schedule for tomorrow. For the game result, in the first game, the Cleveland Cavaliers snapped their three-game losing streak after defeating the Charlotte Hornets, with a score of 139-132. Donovan Mitchell was the top scorer for the Cleveland Cavaliers with 30 points, followed by Darius Garland made a double-double performance of 27 points and 10 assists. DeAndre Hunter also scored 27 points, and Dean Wade added 14 points. LaMelo Ball was the top scorer for the Charlotte Hornets with 23 points and 9 assists, followed by Brandon Miller scored 20 points. In the second game, the Boston Celtics got their three-game winning streak after defeating the Indiana Pacers, with a score of 103-95. Jaylen Brown was the top scorer for the Boston Celtics with 31 points and 9 rebounds, followed by Derek White scored 19 points, Peyton Pritchard and Anfernee Simons added 11 points each. Pascal Siakam was the top scorer for the Indiana Pacers with 25 points, followed by Andrew Nebert scored 20 points. In the third game, the New Orleans Pelicans got their five-game winning streak after defeating the Dallas Mavericks, with a score of 119-113. Zion Williamson was the top scorer for the New Orleans Pelicans with 24 points and 9 rebounds, followed by Derek Queen made a double-double performance of 19 points and 11 rebounds. Saddiq Bey also scored 19 points, and Jordan Poole added 14 points. Anthony Davis was the top scorer for the Dallas Mavericks with a double-double performance of 35 points and 17 rebounds, followed by Klay Thompson scored 20 points. The Denver Nuggets beat the Utah Jazz, with a score of 135-112. Jamal Murray was the top scorer for the Denver Nuggets with 27 points, followed by Tim Hardaway scored 21 points, Cameron Johnson had 20 points, and Nikola Jokic made a triple-double performance of 14 points, 13 rebounds and 13 assists. Lauri Markkanen was the top scorer for the Utah Jazz with 27 points, followed by Keontae George scored 20 points. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Memphis Grizzlies, with a score of 119-103. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the top scorer for the Oklahoma City Thunder with a double-double performance of 31 points and 10 rebounds, followed by Jalen Williams scored 24 points, Ajay Mitchell had 16 points, and Luguentz Dort added 13 points. Kentavious Caldwell and Cedric Coward-Pope was the top scorer for the Memphis Grizzlies with 16 points each. The Detroit Pistons got their second straight win after defeating the Portland Trail Blazers, with a score of 110-102. Jalen Duren was the top scorer for the Detroit Pistons with a double-double performance of 26 points and 10 rebounds, followed by Ausar Thompson made a double-double performance of 18 points and 12 rebounds, Duncan Robinson had 15 points, and Cade Cunningham had 14 points and 9 assists. Shaedon Sharpe was the top scorer for the Portland Trail Blazers with 25 points, followed by Deni Avdija scored 18 points. The Golden State Warriors got their second straight win after defeating the Orlando Magic, with a score of 120-97. Stephen Curry was the top scorer for the Golden State Warriors with 26 points, followed by Jimmy Butler scored 21 points, Moses Moody had 20 points, and Brandon Podziemski added 16 points. Paolo Banchero was the top scorer for the Orlando Magic with a double-double performance of 21 points and 12 rebounds, followed by Desmond Bane scored 20 points. And here are the NBA regular season standings updates. For the Eastern Conference standings, the number 1 in the Eastern Conference standings is Detroit Pistons, with a record of 23 wins and 6 losses. The number 2 is New York Knicks, with a record of 20 wins and 8 losses. The number 3 is Boston Celtics, with a record of 18 wins and 11 losses. The number 4 is Philadelphia 76ers, with a record of 16 wins and 11 losses. The number 5 is Toronto Raptors, with a record of 17 wins and 13 losses. The number 6 is Orlando Magic, with a record of 16 wins and 13 losses. The number 7 is Cleveland Cavaliers, with a record of 16 wins and 14 losses. The number 8 is Miami Heat, with a record of 15 wins and 14 losses. The number 9 is Atlanta Hawks, with a record of 15 wins and 15 losses. The number 10 is Chicago Bulls, with a record of 13 wins and 15 losses. The number 11 is Milwaukee Bucks, with a record of 11 wins and 18 losses. The number 12 is Charlotte Hornets, with a record of 9 wins and 20 losses. The number 13 is Brooklyn Nets, with a record of 8 wins and 19 losses. The number 14 is Indiana Pacers, with a record of 6 wins and 23 losses. The number 15 is Washington Wizards, with a record of 5 wins and 22 losses. For the Western Conference standings updates, the number 1 in the Western Conference standings is Oklahoma City Thunder, with a record of 26 wins and 3 losses. The number 2 and number 3 is Denver Nuggets and San Antonio Spurs, with a record of 21 wins and 7 losses. The number 4 is Los Angeles Lakers, with a record of 19 wins and 8 losses. The number 5 is Minnesota Timberwolves, with a record of 19 wins and 10 losses. The number 6 is Houston Rockets, with a record of 17 wins and 9 losses. The number 7 is Phoenix Suns, with a record of 15 wins and 13 losses. The number 8 is Golden State Warriors, with a record of 15 wins and 15 losses. The number 9 is Memphis Grizzlies, with a record of 13 wins and 16 losses. The number 10 is Portland Trail Blazers, with a record of 12 wins and 17 losses. The number 11 is Dallas Mavericks, with a record of 11 wins and 19 losses. The number 12 is Utah Jazz, with a record of 10 wins and 18 losses. The number 13 is New Orleans Pelicans, with a record of 8 wins and 22 losses. Number 14 is LA Clippers, with a record of 7 wins and 21 losses. The number 15 is Sacramento Kings, with a record of 7 wins and 22 losses. And here are the games scheduled for tomorrow, December 24, Wednesday morning. At 8 a.m., Charlotte Hornets vs. Washington Wizards and Philadelphia 76ers vs. Brooklyn Nets. At 8:30 a.m., Atlanta Hawks vs. Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers vs. New Orleans Pelicans, Indiana Pacers vs. Milwaukee Bucks, and Miami Heat vs. Toronto Raptors. At 9 a.m., Dallas Mavericks vs. Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves vs. New York Knicks. At 9:30 a.m., San Antonio Spurs vs. Oklahoma City Thunder. At 10 a.m., Phoenix Suns vs. Los Angeles Lakers and Utah Jazz vs. Memphis Grizzlies. At 11 a.m., Sacramento Kings vs. Detroit Pistons and Portland Trail Blazers vs. Orlando Magic. In the last game, at 11:30 a.m., LA Clippers vs. Houston Rockets.